Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. Susan Crawford there you see declaring victory in the race for Wisconsin Supreme Court Justice. Brad Schimmel, as you also saw there, concedes.
Yeah, multiple news agencies calling the race for Crawford over Schimmel around 9 o'clock tonight. Both candidates taking the stage well before 9:30. This is a race that drew national attention. Here's a look at the numbers with 78% of the precincts reporting Susan Crawford with 55% of the vote compared to Brad Schimmel with 45% of the vote. We are live tonight in both Madison and in Waukesha County, where supporters of both candidates gathered to hear those results.
And let's check in with our Jason Zimmerman, who's standing by with the Crawford campaign in Madison. Jason.
Bill and Cammy, people here are really pumped tonight. They are excited here as they let this big win kind of sink in. As I look around the room here, I've even seen a few people shedding tears. I'm guessing those are tears of jubilation. It kind of shows you just how high people felt that the stakes were in this election tonight, and what was their reason for pushing here to support Judge Susan Crawford. Now, she took the stage wrapping up just minutes ago, maybe 10-15 minutes ago, right behind me here. She was introduced by retiring Justice Ann Walsh Bradley, and her cheers amid cheers of Susan, Susan. I believe this is probably the victory that Democrats needed coming off of November. A lot of them feel, a new sense of energy tonight, knowing that they were able to send a message to President Donald Trump and maybe even curb his agenda from taking place right here in Wisconsin in the months or the years to come. Now let's go to some video, if we have it, from the event earlier on tonight. We'll go to that. Now, during the 20 or so minute address that Susan Crawford gave on stage, she pledged to continue her work in fighting to do what's right and protecting freedoms here in the state. She said she never thought she would be taking on the richest man in the world for justice in Wisconsin and winning. She also promised to be fair and impartial for everybody in the state, even those who did not vote for her. All of this, all of the other liberal justices on the court also appearing tonight at the watch party in support of Crawford, even though the court is technically nonpartisan. Both candidates had support from political parties and billionaires, Crawford to a slightly lesser degree than Brad Schimmel, but Crawford attacked Elon Musk repeatedly, saying that the outcome tonight is proof Wisconsin is not for sale. She called the campaign itself a crazy journey and said she is forever grateful. Here now is a sample of what she said to supporters just minutes ago.
So today, Wisconsinites fended off an unprecedented attack on our democracy. That's right. Our fair elections and our Supreme Court. And Wisconsins stood up and said loudly that justice does not have a price. Our courts are not for sale.
Democrats have another reason to celebrate tonight. Many of them are here, as I said, though, even though this is an impartial race, technically. But they are looking all the way to Washington right now at the U.S. House of Representatives. A Democratic PAC already put out a news release, with this victory, saying that it is their intent to try to bring a lawsuit to the Supreme Court now that they know that Justice Crawford will be a part of that court. And they do believe there's a good chance that they can redraw the congressional maps in the state and flip at least 2 congressional districts. That would be the 1st and 3rd congressional district, which is Brian Stile and Derek Van Orden's districts. Those 2 districts in the state, so I'm sure we're going to see some action on that in the months to come, even though right now no such lawsuit has been filed. But this PAC saying tonight that they believe that will be the case. Again, as I look around this room, people are celebrating. They are excited tonight. This guy, you're right behind me here, really excited. Is this what you voted for?
Of course.
You wanted to see tonight?
Yeah.
Why was this victory so important?
Because it was Susan against Elon Musk, and we're showing Elon Musk and the rest of the Republican Party that you can't just drop a ton of money and expect to win every time. It can't be a playbook going forward. It's not a playbook for a fair, balanced democracy.
And I think that's the message that a lot of Democrats are having tonight. They wanted this election to send a message message to President Trump, to Elon Musk, that they were upset about the first few months of Trump being in office. They were upset about what Elon Musk was doing with Doge. This was a chance, after weeks of protesting, we've seen those protests just about every single week. Even in our area, northeast Wisconsin, people upset. This was their opportunity to cast a ballot tonight, and they're very happy here with the outcome. Reporting live, Madison, Jason Zimmerman, Action 2 News.